What up, people of the world? Welcome back to Knell of St. Godhrkar. I'm super excited to be playing this. Been looking forward to it all day. We're at 60% on day 6. So we're just going to dive straight in and see what the next chapter has to offer. I think the last chapter we read was about this guy, Ledzeriel, going and talking to the Truth Seeker about finding out about his past, I believe. Yeah, Ledzeriel. So now we're going to do this, the racehorse thing. Something different is going to happen, though. We've already read this once in a previous timeline. So I'm guessing it's going to be similar, but something different is going to happen. After a rather long journey, Whiteson's car finally arrives at Mentor's Frontier Racecourse. Robert steps out of the driver's seat and eagerly opens the back door. A soft hand clings to his palm and is followed by captivating strands of curly hair. They sway lightly in the breeze and settle quietly on the lapel of the owner's collar. Like walking straight out of a painting, a pale and frail-looking girl steps out of the car. A heavy scarf wraps tightly around her thin shoulders, as if holding her very existence together. Lagarde gets out of the car behind her. Excuse me. Holding her hand to make room for Chervlet to leave the car. Rorty, still dizzy? The girl shakes her head and forces a smile as an answer. The girl shakes her head and barely forms a small smile at Lagarde's words. Yeah, you just said that. Chervlet stands behind them, trying not to roll her eyes. Her patron is a perfect gentleman except when his daughter is around. His attention always gets glued to her as if others don't exist, which of course he won't admit. Chervlet has little sympathy for the sickly girl who has been spoiled to death. This girl knows how to please men, though not jealous of this skill. Chervlet finds the girl's manners, shyness, and frailty hard to appreciate. If Rorty had been born where I was, she may not have survived childhood, Chervlet thought coldly. But in any case, Lagarde wouldn't bring them all to such a remote place on a whim.
Earclow?
Why have we come here, Mr. Whiteson? For your show, dear Chervlet. We need to meet up with our cooperators. Confused, Chervlet keeps her smile and drops the subject. What help do they need? She has no clue, but Lagarde's not a man of exaggeration. Chervlet trusts him and knows he has a plan they must follow.
A line.
Is this your first time here? No need to worry, and enjoy the race with Rorty. Rorty raises her eyes and smiles at Chervlet, but only gets a disinterested nod in return. A waiter greets him at the entrance, and they follow him towards the box office.
Yellow Nambella Star.
Please, this way, gentlemen and ladies. The race will start in an hour. Do you want to bet? All of our horses are exceptional. Each of them has a chance to be the winner.
A ring too, Jing.
Which one do you like? Nori Giant or Thunder? As the waiter chatters on, the guard pulls out a brochure and turns to Rorty with a smile. The girl hesitates for a moment, then points shyly to a name on the leaflet.
Svensson.
Bet 300 thil on Thunder from Kazan. Chervlet's jaw drops. She hides her face behind her fan, shocked at the amount of money Lagarde is dropping on a mere horse. The concept of betting on animals isn't new to her, a girl raised in the slums, but betting a drink on a chicken can't compare to the small fortune Lagarde just put down. After taking the bet, Lagarde looks calm, with neither gambler's trepidation nor the pain of having just spent so much. Chervlet grows worried as they weave through the crowd. What happened to making her a star? Surely gambling wasn't Lagarde's answer to her problems. However, once they're behind that crimson wooden gate, Chervlet's swept up in the excitement of it all. The cheers instantly overwhelmed the four people. There are thousands of seats around the oval-shaped track, and they're almost full. The shrieks and high trumpets become a frenzied sea. When the bang in the gun sounds and its powder dissipates on the racecourse, famous horses of various colours gallop forward. The cheers and jeers of the crowd send her heart fluttering. Never in her wildest dreams did Chevlet imagine she'd see something so grand. Her gaze falls on Legard Whiteson, who is in a well-tailored suit. He is looking upon the race with disinterest. But in Chevlet's eyes she's gazing at perfection. It's Legard's guiding hand that'll lead her to be a queen.
That's Whiteson.
Mr. Whiteson. Before she can finish her sentence, she feels an icy glare coming from the section below them. Chevlet shifts her eyes, careful not to make a scene. She stares into the expressionless face of a very tall and strong man.
Oxai.
Took you long enough. Rob's voice is chipper, highly unusual, before Legard speaks. Rorty, however, is still watching the track intently. The man below makes his way to the trio's section, his gaze never leaving hers. Chevlet keeps her facade but tenses as he comes closer. Who is this man?
Allah?
This is... Chevlet looks at her saviour, who gives a small smile. Another rarity. Chevlet's nervousness skyrockets. She's never been more apprehensive. Those silent green eyes are full of impassioned ruthlessness. Something isn't right.
Our tren.
Chevlet, Rorty, please greet our guest, Gwyler Warnock. Chevlet observes the man behind her fan, trying to solve the puzzle. Legard Whiteson is a rich man and a gentleman. Men like him need muscle that can protect their interest. Judging by his tough appearance, Chevlet guesses Gwyler must work for him as a bodyguard or outright killer.
Oh, Marianne.
It's a pleasure to meet you, darling. My name is Chevlet. I'm a singer. Rorty doesn't make a sound, and he raises a hand shyly and reaches out to Warnock. The tall man takes her hand and gives it a soft kiss.
Vastishiak.
The pleasure is mine. I've heard great things about you, Mr. Whiteson. Chevlet furtively raises an eyebrow. Gwyler Warnock's words make her reassess him. He's not as stupid and disgusting as Rob, who always turns into a hungry animal when facing temptation. In opposition to his rough look, Gwyler Warnock's manner shows his cultivation and etiquette. Indeed. Now come and sit, Gwyler. There's something I need to discuss with you. Chevlet and Rory shift so that Gwyler and Legard can sit beside each other.
Ah.
I heard you took care of the lead singer. I talked with him. Not a problem. Mr. Farquhar is a very negotiable man.
Cleffy.
Pity that the Pearl Shell Orchestra is not. They're planning to use their freshmen. With that, Legard takes an envelope from his pocket and passes it over to Gwyler. There's his name, address, and some photos. I've heard the orchestra is having a party tonight. Maybe you can meet him on his way. Feel free to act a little more harshly this time. Sure wish the orchestra would learn their lesson. I give you my word, he'll learn the spotlight isn't for him. Gwyler tears open the envelope and takes out the photos. Then nods to his employer as a promise. Good. Chevlet's star is rising. Two can't shine at the same time, can they? So he's being dastardly at this point. I think they may have murdered the other guy. The guy the priest is taking the fall for. I think this guy might have murdered him or something. I don't know yet. It's a bit uncertain. Of course, I will make sure Mr. Fuchsia is the only singer they can get by tomorrow. The men share a laugh, though Rob's laughter sounds more nervous than anything else. Chevlet attempts to keep up with the conversation, but she gets lost along the way. One thing she knows for certain, it will be another dreadful problem for the next singer. What are they planning to do? Kidnap, threaten, or even kill? Chevlet stares at the tracks in silence. The steeds are still on them, but the results are obvious. Her stomach twists in disgust. Yes, she wants fame, but she wants to attain it with her own talent. Legard's plan is completely unnecessary. But maybe he is putting in every effort to make sure everything goes well. It reminds her of what he taught her. The song is not the first solution, but a last resort. She needs to bide her time and allow him to create opportunities for her. She's conflicted, but the only thing she can do is squeeze her black pearl necklace and try to conceal her concern by feigning a calm facade instead. A pair of hands wraps hers. It's Rorty. whose face is quite close to hers. Rorty simply stares at Chevlet with eyes full of sorrow, as if worried about her.
Fyong. Shong.
I'm fine. Rorty shakes her head, but when she tries to speak, someone else interrupts their conversation. It is a handsome young man who finally finds his target and shouts to him.
Tav!
Bro, Lagarde, there you are! Gouler's expression changes as he recognizes the man. That resolute and solemn facade finally cracks. He stands up and pushes the young man into a corner before the staff throws him out for blocking the view.
Here you go.
What are you doing here, Gale? Where are your manners?
Kivadi Tren?
I just wanted to greet you and Lagarde.
Huh?
You call this a greeting? It's Mr. Whiteson, you idiot. Gouler smacks his brother's head without hesitation. Gale does not fight back, seemingly used to such reactions, and simply rubs his forehead.
Boo.
Boo, Mr. Whiteson. And iron that into your brain. Alright, what do you need? I won't spare you if you're trying to start something.
Kivadi Tren?
Of course not. I'm telling you, I remember the Bucker's trade post? The one that was supposed to broadcast this race? It's been destroyed.
Huh?
What? Who did you hear that from?
Mostreas.
Who else but Hoito, the guy who runs the east side of Magri Street? Not long ago, a union man came to look for his former men. Just some puny union boss. Why didn't they just throw him out?
Kivadi Tren?
It's not that simple. Those Maximalists came over with a mercenary and smashed through the whole shop. Mr. Hoito said that he was coming for us. He even asked for a redress for our shop. Okay, so this is talking about the assassin. The assassin guy and the Maximalist who kicked the shit out of all those people in the betting house. It's Gouler's turn to suck in a sharp breath. He closes his eyes and exhales, his face sullen as he reopens them and curses viciously. Okay, Gowl, I've just accepted a new job.
Huh?
New job? From Mr. Whiteson? What is it? Same as last time, nothing too serious. This is our target's data, so you'd better look through it later. Gowl takes the envelope from Gouler, who sighs and rubs his brother's forehead.
Glue.
So it is. I'll deal with the Buckers and you take this mission. Got it? Gale slowly looks up at his brother, eyes widening in pure delight. At last, he bursts into a cry of joy like an apprentice who's finally acknowledged by his own master.
Tav!
You're finally allowing me to come out? Gouler nearly choked to death on his own spit.
Here you go.
I've had enough of your babbling. Look, our job is just to make him disappear, alright? Ah, forget it. The only thing you need to do is knock him out and bring him back. Don't get him killed. I don't trust you to handle the scene alone.
Boo.
But... No more buts. Leave the rest to me. We need to go back. Gouler drops the conversation and drags Gowl to Lagarde.
Vestishiak.
Excuse us. This is my younger brother, Gowl. He'll be helping me with the next job.
Zizi.
I'm at your service, Mr. Whiteson. My name is Gowl Warnock.
Here you go.
What about the ladies, you idiot? Okay, so that little conversation they just had was new. The private conversation between the two of them. That was new. The rest of this seems to be on point with what we've read before. Oh, yes. Good day, Miss Whiteson, Miss Fuchsia. Gouler reminds him in a clenched voice, forcing Gowl to make salutations with everyone present. Lagarde looks at the young man with a genuine smile. He's always tolerant of young one's impudence. And as for the driver, Rob, he's already lost in the horse racing atmosphere.
Melody.
The pleasure is mine, Gowl. Have you worked on an assignment with your brother before? Gowl looks on in confusion. Gouler whispers in his little brother's ear. Then Gowl looks up in a dreamy look and nods eagerly.
Zizi.
Oh, yes, of course I have, sir. How did you like it?
Zizi.
I don't know. Chevlet, who has been watching them for a while, notices that Gouler snorts and pinches Gowl's back after whispering into his ear.
Mostreas.
But I'm sure this job will be better. My word is my bond, and I'm at your service, sir. Greet Lady Chevlet and let's go. We have business elsewhere for now. I know, stop stomping on me, man, it hurts.
Zizi.
So, Miss Whiteson, Miss Fuchsia, good day. Gow does exactly as his brother told him. Rorty and Chevlet nod and watch as they leave the bleachers. As soon as they disappear, Robert complains in a low voice. What weird brothers. They really are, Chevlet thinks to herself. But it doesn't matter. Whatever it takes to get that stage is worth it. Well, that was a completely different opinion to a few seconds ago. She's changed her opinion and done a 180. Mr. Whiteson?
Huh?
Yes, dear?
Shang.
Is this going to work, right? I'm going to be a star?
Alive.
Of course, dear. Just wait and watch. I always win. Chevlet understands and nods in response. She turns her attention to the race. The storm is coming. She can feel it. Yes, the storm definitely is coming. And what's this? Urchin Easterners it's going on to the cop story again. Interesting. I wonder what this will be about. Urchin concluded from the morning's autopsy that the victim was most likely an immigrant who worked on the shore like the previous ones. To identify the body, Urchin decided to visit Dock Street in the southwest of Illy to fish for some information from the local workers. They said fish. Fish for some information when he's going to the docks. So funny. Absolutely hilarious. Let's go. The roustabounds of Ill Harbour are more difficult to deal with than anyone else. Those dull brutes are always the first to complain about everything you can name. They would sing songs to praise the bounty of the sea in the morning and curse her in the evening when it's time to count the day's harvest. The sea erodes their lives as it does metal, leaving marks on them from birth to death, separating them from the others in this modern city. This contributes to the insider-only attitude that exists exclusively within the city dwellers. Fortunately, Urchin is different from his pompous colleagues. His parents were blessed by the sea, and thus he shares the sky and blood with most fishermen. This relationship makes them less wary of him. Urchin works his way, spending time chatting and entertaining the workers. At first they laughed at him as a docker lackey, but now he is more often called...
Yeah.
Wow, if it isn't our lucky cop, what brings you here? A docker shouts at him. The topic of Urchin's extra finger has always brought him and dockers close together.
Slish.
A new case, my friends. I need some help. Tell us your trouble.
Godhrkar?
Let me ask first, have any dockers been reported missing recently?
Shakar.
That's a hell of a loaded question, mister. I mean, for the love of Votru, this is a dock. Everyone comes and goes.
Shang Fo.
This is different. We found a body. I think you may know something about him. Urchin takes out a photo of the victim. The dockers look at each other, and one of them curls his lip. Don't know. That's not what their eyes showed. Come on, guys. He's from the dock. You don't want to worry when you're walking around at night, do you?
Tonyak.
We'll take care of our own asses, sir. Now get out of my way, you fucking cop. A raspy voice raises. A fisherman deliberately elbows past Urchin, who remains still, knowing that some still refuse to take him in because they see him as just another corrupted cop.
Ah.
If you come up with any clues, feel free to call me. The man spits in reply.
A line.
Forget it, that guy's always like that. No good words come out of his mouth. Even a half-plucked rooster has more right to be angry than him. The people around burst out laughing, slapping the wisecracker so hard that he chokes, which leads to yet another fit of laughter. Urchin's mood isn't lighted by the atmosphere. He was hoping to find something of value, but it turns out the dock workers were just a bunch of rascals.
Slash.
Listen, guys, please tell me something about this case. If we can't catch the culprit, not only will the poor fellow and his family be denied justice, but a scapegoat will be pushed up. Yeah, a scapegoat will be pushed up and his family will be destroyed too. We have to do something. The fisherman's laughter breaks off abruptly. They keep silent for a while, exchanging glances. Then a guy who had stood quietly at the back comes forward while others make a path for him. He goes up to Yertran, staring at him carefully.
Claw?
And you are? Maverick Boma. I work on the Spooman. They shake hands.
Slishen.
You want something to investigate? That warehouse at the end of the old docks is the fishiest thing. Weird noises come out of there and it makes me and some of my guys sick. Like, seriously sick. Can't work with that in the background. Our bosun is right. Please help us out, sir, and we'll help you.
Align.
If you tell me all you know about this person, I promise to look into the sounds. This time the dockers finally accept Ertran's photo. Ertran continues with his questions while it is circulated amongst them.
Godhrkar?
Who is he? Oh, I know. It's the mayor of
Mufista.
It's Nestos. Can't remember his last name. He works on the Moreland dockyard south. Gross child prostitutes. It's disgusting. A very quiet lad, maybe because he was timid.
Z. Ma.
So yeah, not a very noticeable guy, but I remember his name. We've got a knack for that. Nestos. Something.
Karkse.
He was fit, strong, and ate like a horse, remember? Honestly, I don't remember that much. These people come and go. Who has time to remember what they all look like?
Claw?
So, there really is a heavy worker turnover? I mean, are there a lot of old faces gone? Yeah, it seems so. Quit his job, I guess. It's not easy recently, or safe. Damn Hokurukan's fault. Since they burned down the old docks, half of the old workers have gone. Wait, you're not saying this has something to do with your stupid case? It could be. I'd like you to take a look at these photos. He takes photographs of previous victims from his notebook. The sailors squeeze in to look at them while blurting out comments. When they finally settle down, Ertran is able to identify one of those victims as, just expected, a docker. There is another one too, but no one seems to be as familiar with him as the last one.
Mufista.
Sorry, detective, this guy, we did meet on the docks before, but just can't remember his name.
V.
Don't know him very well.
Blow.
Thank you, that's a great help for us. The fisherman looks at Ertran, tilting his head to the side, and expects an expression on his face. Oh, and I'll look into it. We're stretched thin at the moment, but...
Shaka, lad?
See, I told you, cops are never as good as their words. Shit, I knew he was wasting our time.
Tonyak.
Scumbag cop. They round up Ertran and curse. Ertran tries to fight back, but Maverick spits on the ground before rescuing him. Okay guys, I know you've been wanting to play this for a long time. Very funny, now let's hear what he has to say. Ertran glances a thanks to Maverick, without whom things would have been twice as difficult.
Godhrkar.
I also wanted to ask if you're familiar with Father Turner Keshtazai. Hearing this, the people look around, disgusted.
Forest, yeah.
He doesn't have any friends here. We don't mess with murderers. So you're looking for an accomplice, aren't you? Is that what this is all about? Just because we don't make enough money, we deserve to be treated like scum? I saw him last confession day. Was coming here to replace the old priest who'd been sick. To the chapel of Erman something chapel. Ermgahamd chapel.
Shigar.
Whatever the fuck that is, it's as disgusting as the murderer. He was a real piece of work when he ran the event. Who'd have thought he'd take off that robe and go kill someone? I didn't know you were the religious type, Diego.
Kafar!
Kafar! My mum makes me go with her, okay? So yeah, the thought that I've had that man preach makes me sick, that I've heard that man makes me sick. The dockers swear and curse, believing the priest's guilt, which was dramatized by the papers. A red-headed man exits a nearby boathouse and gives a loud whistle to break the silence.
Aye!
Dinner is ready! His chest protrudes, his arm swipes through the air confidently. His position, whatever that may be, reaches out to every nook and cranny of the harbour. The immediate feeling about him is one of a vaguely indefinable yet gut-wrenching omen of ill will. The dockers answer the man's whistle by setting down their tools. These sailors and fishermen were blessed by the sea with frostbite and labour-twisted bones. Enchanted by the same call as the others, the 4 fishermen lose interest in Urtrin and walk away. Not easy, is it? Both men release a bitter smile.
Tu Charlene?
It's been foggy this morning. The lack of results has made everyone cranky, not to mention that the northern barbarians are always hanging around. Some of the dockers feel it's the police fault for not chasing out the Godhrkars. Urtrin nods in understanding. For the dock workers, the barbarians of Godhrkar brought only 2 things, a call to strike and a more ferocious gang. While the former seeks the well-being of the workers, the latter makes their lives even worse. I should thank you for your help. Anyway, what are they doing? He points to the guy who announced dinner. There are a couple of perks down here on the docks. We get breakfast and dinner included in our pay. It's fairly cheap stuff, but it has a rather unique flavour.
Oh,
That's something new.
Muffy stir.
It started 3 months ago. By the way, I have an idea. He takes out a dinner ticket and hands it to Urtrin. It says special offer for the southern pier of Illy City on it. How about experiencing a sailor's dinner? As long as you don't forget to check the old dock.
Huh?
What about you? Okay, we've got a decision here. I've got no karma points, so he's going to go with his gut and decline the invitation. What about you? Maverick coughs, covering his mouth. Not today, I don't have much of an appetite. You can take it instead.
Blow.
Thanks, but no, you should have some. The hard work will make your appetite grow. Maverick laughs while shaking his head and puts the ticket back in his pocket. The sea is calm, bequeathing the land an almost brackish, lukewarm sea breeze that is surprisingly pleasant. A few sailors return outside with their lunchboxes and bottles and sit on the bench for an open-air dinner, making a wonderful reconciliation with the sea.
Maverick!
Good evening, Maverick. What's wrong? You got a cold? Maverick shrugs his shoulders in frustration and makes a gesture, inviting them to sit next to him.
Huh.
True, bless you. You won't miss next weekend's carnival, will you?
Huh?
Carnival?
Say,
Yeah, Club Stella has been giving us the best seats and discounts for months. I'm sure everyone appreciates that, especially the singer the day before yesterday. Man, she really is busty and brassy, right, Marv? Can't blame your taste. I really love her singing, but I couldn't hear a damn thing that she said. Not really that it mattered. Not that it really mattered. Seriously, mate, what was she babbling on about? No damned clue. Ha 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 ha. They have themselves in stitches, practically falling over onto the sand. They've long forgotten the man of the law who stands before them. Urtrin is waiting for them to finish when he hears someone behind him.
You start close to him?
Already here, huh? The form of his cheeky colleague appears. He and Widden... Oh, it's Widden, okay. Widden always have a clear division of work. Urtrin does the legwork, watches the autopsy and deals with the dockers, while Widden, the better writer, refines the report. Passmore was furious they'd hired an intern, but the autopsy report was so wonderfully done that he had to allow the pair to continue their investigation. Urtrin turns around, smiles and greets his colleague.
Ah.
Yeah, got lots of clues. What about you? Did you find the correct style of murder weapon?
Hear me start?
Not yet. We borrowed several types of knives, and the test is still in progress, so we should get the report by tomorrow. We should ask these guys more questions later and let them have dinner. Working all afternoon at sea probably gave them quite an appetite. Am I right, fellows? The fishermen nod in a profound fashion. They are deeply touched with Widden's thoughtfulness.
Sì, amore.
A man of reason. And polite.
Maverick.
Do you remember Gavin, Marv? Tell them about that.
Slishen.
Oh, right. Don't know why we're hiring so many new guys. Like, it's a brand new organization. It's not just Nestos, though. Another one of the more enthusiastic eaters was named Gavin, I believe. Right. He's been gone for 5 days straight, and he never misses any work time. Poor guy has 2 sisters and a sick mother, praying he comes back with some money. Yeah, I keep seeing old faces replaced by new ones, faster than files on a pile of crap. Faster than flies on a pile of crap. Right, I just can't figure out why though.
You start close telling me?
What was the guy's full name?
Kevin.
Gavin, dude, no, wait a minute. He slams his food on the ground and curses.
Arska.
What an itch, his name was his last name. We spoke all the time, me and him.
Oi.
Hey man, don't take it too personal. The fishermen tangle themselves up in conversation as Widden and Urchin glance at each other.
Close tell me?
Did you find out our victim's name?
Ah.
Yeah, Nestos something. Kind of weird that no one remembers his surname.
Phew, fica fio.
Alright, let's get back. There's a peculiar case of gang violence from last night that's worth looking into.
Twyline.
Fair enough, let's get it done. To the police station.
Oh, Carslin.
Oh, I meant just go back home. We're not going to tackle the reports now, you lunatic. This is Confess Day.
Ah?
Since when do you celebrate Confess Day?
Hear me start.
Since it's a holiday.
You try.
You need to get some rest and spend some time with your family. Sleep is just around the corner. Let your Olenia and Cynthia see you at least once a week. That must be his names of his daughters or something. Urchin recalls his half-assed response to Billy's plea just before he left the house. It stings his heart, but is suppressed at the same beat. In the same beat. It had been too long since he'd been there with his family. But hopefully the case would be over soon. Anyone still on the bandwagon against Turner was busy tying a noose, and Urchin will see to their demise with haste as long as Widden finds the real murder weapon type. The manic hunter finds his prey eventually, unless he oversteps his boundaries, attracts the attention of the wrong people, or the authorities run him down. Well, you're the authorities, so you don't have to worry about that. Oh dear. So this is the Raven decision that we had last time where he gets murdered. Only problem is I don't have any karma points, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to make the right decision. Last time we chose to stick to the main streets. This time he might choose to go to the main streets again as his normal response, as his normal decision that I have no control over, and he'll end up getting murdered again. So yeah, that really sucks. We've only got about 20 minutes before the hour is up though, guys, and I'm not sure if there'll be enough time to read through the entire chapter. And obviously I don't want to overshoot the boundaries and go above an hour, otherwise I won't be able to upload this episode to YouTube. So I'm going to wrap things up here for now and carry on in the next episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching the stream, guys. I do hugely appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed playing. We're only doing about half an hour at a time at the moment because I don't want to overrun the time and I don't know how long these chapters are, but we'll get to the end eventually, guys. I can guarantee it. So hopefully I will see you in the next episode. I produce content every single day. So peace out till next time.